Hi, this is Ben Quiggle, editor of Woodall's Campground Magazine, and this is another edition of Supplier Showcase. And this time we are chatting with Michael and Gail Platt, the owners and founders of Colortime Crafts and Markers. And I'm sure a lot of our audience has seen you guys at conferences. I know you guys typically have some booths or some different materials at conferences throughout the country. Um, I guess just give us a little bit of history. Where are you guys based, and how did you guys get into this business?
That's interesting. We're based on Long Island in New York. We've been working with this concept for about 25 years. Quick history on us, believe it or not, is that Gail started this business out of our garage and ran it for about 5 years.
Yeah.
And it got too big for the garage. At that point, we moved into, it was early 90s. We moved into a 5,000 square foot warehouse in the neighborhood, which was very unusual to have that. And we stayed there for almost 10 years, had a staff of about 30 people working for us. And the concept briefly was it was a creative cotton warehouse where people could pick out blanks and do trimming and so forth and so on. And we developed this Color Time project as a birthday party and a Girl Scout function, and we ran it, and it was very successful. People would come and ask us if they could buy it from us and bring it to their people that they were visiting all over the country. Long story short, the building fell out of the hands of the owners into the sons. The sons put it in bankruptcy, and we were foreclosed out of that business there. Well, we picked ourselves up from the ashes. We knew we had something good,
Yeah.
and we developed the Color Time Crafts logo and market. And our first customers were the cruise industry, and to this day, we still deal with the cruise industry. And obviously, the campground industry, we've seen many changes with it. And it has grown tremendously since we first started with it. So that's just a little recap on who we are and what we do, kind of thing.
Yeah, and for people who are newer to the industry, don't understand, we'll just pull up the website. You can go to colortime.com. And I was told before the show that different, you guys are doing something different with a nonprofit group that's doing retail, but basically the park owners would go to the wholesale page tab of the web page to check out. And I think everybody could see this, but you can kind of see they have like drawstring bags that and pillowcases and T-shirts that are all customizable that you would use special fabric markers for to basically color in. So you could have, I guess, people at the campground come and purchase this stuff and color it in. I guess, is that the idea?
Well, yes, it goes. Yes, it goes also. Not only do we do the coloring items that can be customizable, but we also, in the last couple of years, tie dye has regained importance. And so we offer a complete line. Any item you see can be customized within certain limits to
Yeah.
be either a tie dye or a coloring. And interestingly enough, the coloring can be tie dyed as well after it's colored. So there's a lot of different ways that they can use it. What I like to say to people is that Color Time allows them to entertain their guests, advertise their park, and earn a profit at the same time. So it's a pretty unique concept in terms of keeping the kids busy. Ages, I like to say it's 5 and 105 because we do people like Tennessee Baptist Adult Home for
Yeah.
years. They always want to do it, that kind of thing. So it's kind of universal in terms of what we do.
Well, I think it's kind of interesting too when you go to a campground. I think parents want to take part in the activities the kids are doing.
You took it exactly.
Yeah.
you'll see the dad come off the rig and actually sit down with the child and do it. So yeah, absolutely,
So
absolutely,
if I'm a park owner and I'm
yes.
looking to do this, what do I get? I guess I know you guys. It looks like you guys have a 72 piece minimum order. So do I get if I order some shirts? Do I get the shirts and markers, or are those ordered separately? How does that work? I guess.
Okay, good question. The way it works is that depending upon the market it's in, it is a 72-piece minimum. In the t-shirts you can mix your sizes, and in the we have three programs for the campgrounds. We have a Jellystone program, we have an Arvik Designs, we have KOA as well. Again, when you drill into that website, you in the old days you would be able to see artwork from that. We have all existing artwork and we have new artwork, but you have to reach out to us and we'll provide that to you because it's no longer web based, if you will,
Okay.
from that standpoint.
So
Go
so if
ahead.
I'm a park owner and do I design, then do I create like a design and send it to you guys, or do you guys help with that
Good
process?
question. Good. Let me digress for a second. Let me go back. You mentioned the markers. The markers, it's hard to see it, but
Yeah.
the markers, they're very unique in the terms of what they do and where they come from. They come from Japan, not from China. You can't see it, but they hold the highest safety standards available, and we have to provide that to customers to make sure. If you look at a Chinese marker, half of them don't even have a safety standard on it. But putting that
Oh,
aside, there's a huge amount of ink in here. And unlike any other marker in the world, it dries instantly. Every other marker you have to iron or let sit for 24 hours, and it's permanent. And it looks like a screen printed t shirt. We also offer a small pack, which is what we call a retail pack. It's the same quality. This has 7 cc's of liquid, so you figure about 10 cents an item to color with this kind of marker. It's amazing. And they do not come together. The 72 of the item is an independent buy, and then we figure back in based on what you order, how many markers you really need to get it done. This
okay.
one is if they want to take it home to grandma, grandma wants to take it home to the children, that type of thing from that standpoint. So
Okay.
that's
Yeah.
how that part of it works.
Okay. All right. And then you mentioned
As
people can send you a design, or do you help with the
I'll let
design
Gail talk
yourself?
about that. I'll
yeah,
let Gail talk about
yes,
that.
if you have a design that's camera ready or very high
Mhm.
resolution, uh, black and white, yes, we will take that.
Just
Otherwise, we have a large selection of artwork which you can tweak if you want. You could take out a canoe and put in a tennis racket. You could do whatever, customize it for your park. And everything that comes from us has a name drop.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
yes, it's
Yeah.
very custom. It's very easy to order. You speak to us, we'll set it up for you. There's very little that you need to do except order it, of course.
So do you see park owners put this stuff in their camp store and have people buy it, or are they mainly buying it for like special craft events that they're doing,
both,
activities?
both,
Both.
and they can do both because they do run a lot. They put it on their schedule. They're really. It's funny. They really. If you do it right, it's very very successful, and they do put it on their schedule. But you can put it in the store. It's a rainy day. They're rolling with the rig. They're tearing their hair out. You can lease out. You can rent out the markers to them. They go back to the rig and they do it. So it's a hybrid. It works both ways. However they want to do it, that kind of thing.
Okay.
People
And
people told us that they started doing it like special events or once in a while, every other month. They do it every day now because people just want to do it, and it's always there. It's simple to use, and it's just always on the schedule.
And also themed in Halloween every year gets bigger and bigger. We actually have glow in the dark ink where we
well,
do a Halloween print, and that they do that, and that just every year gets bigger and bigger. Just to go back on the minimums, um, in the Arctic and KOA, so they're maybe smaller orders, and they can mix within the design the same print. They can say, "Hey, give me 36 backpacks, give me 36 pillowcases." They can mix. They can mix. So I want to be clear on that.
Yeah, and just to clarify for the audience too, ARVIC, the National Association of RV Parks and Campgrounds, is now known as OHI. So I just like to
Oh,
clarify.
sorry. We're
No,
old school.
because it's new, and if people search ARVIC, they may get a little confused. But yeah,
Okay.
so yeah, if you're a member there,
Yep.
you guys have a program for that. So
Yeah.
I guess what are your predictions for 2024? You said that business was going pretty good so far.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Each year it just seems to, it's a lot of word of mouth.
Yeah.
Children will go to one campground, they'll go to another campground, and they'll ask, "Where did you get that?" And we get a lot of word of mouth people coming to us. So it gets more each year.
Then they also switch locations, and they bring us with them. A trend in the paper that I totally agree with is that you're seeing more management companies now, either buying or managing groups of campgrounds, and so we work with them in terms of groups. So from that standpoint, I think that's good for us in terms of having a direct input into what they want in terms of themes and so forth. So we're pretty optimistic on the future, as I guess you are also. So.
Do you guys working on anything new, or is it basically you're just working with parks on the orders that are coming in, I guess?
We're always looking for new items, but right now we concentrate on the artwork and keeping that's almost a full-time job, keeping all areas fresh in terms of artwork.
Right, we do new artwork. We keep the old artwork, but every season we bring out new artwork, and it just doesn't get old. They just keep doing it.
Right. Our experience has been that you can have the same child come back 2 years, 3 years in a row. As long as you change that artwork up, they're very happy to do it again. That type of thing.
Yeah, that's great. Well, obviously you guys have the website at colortime.com, and people will need to, park owners will need to click on the wholesale tab in order to see what's available for campgrounds and parks. I guess, are there any other ways people can get in touch with you guys?
They can call us at 516-377-8430. That's
okay.
Or email us at sales@colortime.com.
Okay. Yeah. And then, of course, I think, you guys go to quite a few conferences or at least a couple.
Right.
I've seen you guys around. So if park owners are ever at a conference, maybe they can find your booth. So
right.
Yes.
Right. And the only other thing I'd like to say is anytime anybody wants to get some references on other parks, that we have them across the board in all the different areas. People like us and they come back to us, so we must be doing something right.
We have the same customers from the day we started, so
right.
That's
well, great.
kind of positive.
Right.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, thank you both for coming on, and thanks for sharing information about your wonderful product, and thanks everyone for watching, and we'll see everyone next time.